All right, welcome to another edition of the Mile High Real Estate Spotlight Podcast. I'm Brian Arnold. I am your host today, and I'm just real excited. There are some things that have happened for me over the last few weeks where I've been able to travel to Alabama, and I've been able to just see a different part of the world. And so, we went to the Legacy Museum, we went to Birmingham, we were able to walk through. I went to Selma and went over the Bettis Bridge. And, as I'm recording this podcast today and thinking about, I was thinking about real estate while I was there and thinking about, the opportunities we have here in Colorado and the ability that we have in our country that has allowed us to be able to purchase real estate, to be able to create wealth through that purchase. And so, one of the hard things about Alabama is they've written all these laws that kind of stop some people from being able to move forward. And that, the rest of the country, they seem like they're just a little bit behind in that aspect. Although there were some families that, were able to purchase real estate in the 70s or the 80s or the 60s, and some even in the 30s and still own those homes today. When we think about location, there was a couple areas there that were, where I guess there were some plants and, the soil is terrible there and that kind of stuff. And, it's one of those things to think about and watch and make sure. And one of the process of real estate that allows us in this day and age to avoid some of those pitfalls, because you wouldn't be able to build a house on land like that right now. But what I really saw is this opportunity for generational wealth. And so today I have Erika on, and Erika has a military background. And Erika, I was talking to a young man in Arizona a couple of weeks ago. I was there, and he was saying, "I sure wish I could get a house. I sure wish I could get a house." And he was working at I think it was a nonprofit that was doing stuff for youth, which is really cool. And he said, I said, "So what have you been doing?" Like, how, he was in his early 30s. I said, "Well, what have you been doing the last few years?" And he said, "Well, I was in the military for 5 years." And I'm like, "Why are you renting right now?" And for whatever reason, nobody told him that, or he missed it. I'm not saying nobody told him. I'm just saying he missed the fact that he could get a VA loan, that he would be able to get a VA loan. And I said to him, I said, "You know what?" I said, "The goal is for you to get into a house. And I know you want to get into a house. I mean, it might not be the house that is your dream home, your forever home, but there's no reason for you with the job that you have now. You said you have great credit with your military ability to get a VA loan, that by March we're not in a house for you." And he's like, "Really? Yeah, I can use those benefits." I'm like, "Yes." And so it was just so funny. And so Erika comes to us. So I'm excited to talk to Erika a little bit about that today. She also is a proponent of generational wealth and how we build it, and the things that I talk to on the lending side all the time about what it means to create that generational wealth. And so, Erika, thank you for being on the show today. I appreciate your time in being willing to come. She works in the Colorado Springs area pretty much, but she works wherever she needs to be able to help families. And so maybe you could tell us, first, I want you to tell us exactly how do we get a hold of you, and then we'll go into your story a little bit.
Okay, first of all, I want to thank you for inviting me this morning. And yes, you can get a hold of me. My name is Erika Zeigler-Rabet. I have a website, www.lovingcoloradosprings.com. Again, that's www.lovingcoloradosprings.com. And best way to directly get in contact with me is 719-424-6224. Again, that's 719-424-6224.
Oh, I love it. So tell us a little bit about your background. I mean, you can go back as far as you would like, and just, how did you get to where you're at doing this?
It's so funny that you asked that. Yeah, I didn't come through the normal way of just as far as finishing school and coming straight into real estate. Yes, my background, actually, so funny you mentioned Alabama. I actually went to undergraduate school in Tuskegee University in Tuskegee, Alabama. So have a background in finance. So I did a degree there and had opportunity to work for. This is going to date me, but I was at Price Waterhouse. So before the merger of Price Waterhouse Coopers and all the different mergers, it was still the Big Six at the time when I started. But anyway, got into that and really, my background just really enjoyed working with numbers and that background as far as finance. So I always kind of, even as a kid, somehow, sparked my interest. And then after that, had an opportunity to actually work at Lucid Technologies. And with that, while doing that, I got a master's in accounting from Babson College, which is out in the Boston area. So basically had the finance background between the finance and accounting, so definitely knew the numbers and everything. So did that for a number of years. So probably did that close to 15 years all in all, as far as dealing with um, the finance and everything, corporate finance and all that. And then I, got into real estate. Started out with investing. So I've been working with that for several years. Probably been doing that for close to 20 years now. And I had the opportunity while doing that to get into real estate as an agent. And then, like you said, I'm military. My husband got stationed here in Fort Carson. We're a true military family, and everything got here, which Fort Carson's right here in Colorado Springs. And just after dealing with real estate, even investing otherwise, that's how I got to become a realtor. So yes, that's how I actually became a realtor here in Colorado.
Oh, oh man, that's great. And I love all the background, the finance background, the background that allows you to really be able to help clients understand the money aspect of it. And this is, in many cases, the number one, are the probably the biggest purchase that they may make in their lifetime. They may make several house purchases, but for a lot of folks, it's the number one. Like I said, that biggest thing, and then to understand how the money works around it. I just had a gentleman call me that's he's already has two houses, and he asked me about how do I calculate LTV. I'm understanding this thing of the how the principal mortgage insurance works, and he's like, wait a minute, that doesn't help me at any way in any shape or form. And I'm like, no sir, that's just a way that the bank makes sure if you foreclose that they're going to get their money back. And so that eye opening about finances and how that works is so big. um when I think about the military and your ability to help military families, what are some of the things that may be a little bit different for somebody who's in the military when they're thinking about this process that's probably different than what you would do with I guess civilians or your civilian clientele?
It's so true. Like you mentioned earlier about the gentleman you had met, the VA loan gives you the opportunity, to get into the home, with no down payment as far as that's concerned. So that's definitely very helpful because that's a thing that's also a lot of is a big issue for some people as far as dealing with the down payment and everything. So that's a benefit that the active duty and veterans have available to them. So that is a great thing. Another thing, if they're active duty, you have to think about how long they're going to be here, if it's going to make sense as far as that's concerned. It can make sense even if they're not going to be here for a length of time because this Colorado Springs area and just Colorado in general is very uh, friendly as far as appreciation, as far as them be able to have this as an asset for them to, like you say, help build generational wealth. And I'm able to help them deal with that as well. So even if they're here for less than 2 years, it can make sense. It just has to make sense for that particular person. But regardless, yes, that's something they have to consider because, a lot of times the active duty, they have to move about and everything. And but yes, that's a way they could still, build on generational wealth. And have had clients to do that. They've kept their properties and they're able to continue to grow. Or I've had other clients who were here not that long, but due to the appreciation, they were able to take a nice chunk with them and put it towards their next house. So it's various ways by real estate will help a military member and their families.
When should a military family think about buying a home? Because I know, like, if you're, your career,
Mm-hmm.
military, person, are you thinking like every place that I'm stationed, I'm going to buy a house, or are you thinking it's a great idea to create generational wealth if you're able to do that, or do you say you wait till you get out? How do you advise military families on when is the right time to purchase a home?
As I'm not a lawyer or attorney, but it depends. I'm gonna use
Okay.
their standard answer to everything. It's based if they're willing to, and also the location. Certain locations aren't as valuable as Colorado.
Hmm.
Um, so, they may have a hard time either selling it or getting someone to rent it or all those different things for a good, amount of money. It's based on what their loan is and how much will they be able to cash flow. Those are some factors that they have to really, really consider as far as that's concerned. Saying that, I've met many military who have gained so much wealth because they have done that in different locations. They do have properties and they're able to manage them well, even though they're in different locations. And they basically have a lot of more options because of the wealth that they were able to build because of that. So, like I say, it depends based on their situation as far as the length of time. They're if they're not risk averse and all that, and they're willing to do this and this could help build wealth for them and their families for generations to come.
Gotcha. Does the military have special classes that they can enroll in that kind of talks about building wealth, or is that kind of left up to each, whether they're enlisted officers, however it is that they are part of that. I know my father was, he was when my mom met him, he was in the Navy, and then
Okay.
he transferred to the Air National Guard. So he was part of that when I was growing up, and so I spent many of my Saturdays at Buckley Air Force Base during the time when you could crawl on airplanes and helicopters, and he was a photographer, so we got to go, had access to the whole base, and it was, I think for us as a family, it ended up being a really good, way for my dad. But I don't know how much he was, the military helped him figure out, like, okay, these are some options. These are the way that you
Mhm.
can start building wealth. These are some things that you can do. Is that something that's available right now, or is they just got to go find? They got to just figure it out.
Well, first of all, you call me 719-424-6224. Just all kidding aside.
Love it.
They
Yes.
do have actually different things as far as on the military bases. I know we're more familiar with Fort Carson's. So they did have different classes at the time as far as dealing with budgeting, dealing with helping the process, as far as getting the general details about it. So that's one thing that the military is doing. They understand that they want folks to be able to um, have full lives for their families and everything, which includes, of course, finances. So they do offer different classes. It's just a matter of just touching base with your local branch and as far as getting those details. But yeah, but like I say, my extensive background dealing with military as well, I'll be happy to help or answer any questions as far as that's concerned to get more detail information towards people.
Yeah. So do they have a guide of like local realtors, local loan people, that kind of stuff that person can access? Or, like, I think I'm hoping that, some military folks will watch this and they'll come in. And as we broadcast into Mile High Real Estate Spotlight podcast, this is also going to be utilized on the Black Wealth Experience podcast that we have as a resource, as an asset. And I hope if you are listening to this or you watching this, and Erika is a wealth of resources, and that you're calling her and you're asking her about the local. I just didn't know if the military is like, okay, here are some people, if this is what you're thinking, that you go to, because mostly it's word of mouth or referrals,
Yeah.
in our civilian world. And I assume that's a lot there. I just didn't know if there was anything extra added. Um,
Yeah, yeah, I'm glad you asked that. They do have opportunities, like I said, most of the classes are pretty, like I said, basic, and sometimes they have volunteers to help. So those are normally some of the people they might be aware of if they have volunteers from the mortgage back or the lending background or the real estate background as far as touching base. As far as the general like guide and everything, um, from my understanding, they try not to kind of get in that much detail as far as steering to certain folks and stuff. But there are opportunities, like you said, from referrals to talk to your fellow military members as far as that's concerned, and that's how I've gotten a lot of my clients is from referrals as well. So those are mainly the main ways as far as that's concerned. But they're definitely there to have give you some basic information and at least a general process for it.
Gotcha. Well, pretty well, and that kind of segues us into the other thing that you and I talked about earlier is just the investment.
Yes.
The investment part of it and helping people with investments. And so, even if folks already own a home, and this, they're coming to to Fort Carson or one of the bases here to utilize. Okay, what do I think about investment properties and how that works? I know like one of the concepts that I use a lot or try to use a lot is, I specialize in reverse mortgages. And,
Mhm.
one of the things that in our community that I've been able to do is take, like a grandma that I did that she was 72, and we she had plenty of equity in her house, and we took out $180,000. 60,000 of that went to pay for it paid for her repairs and stuff in the house. Then we took the other $120,000 and we split it up four ways, and her grandkids got $40,000 of down payment assistance now from grandma. So instead of grandma waiting to 92 and then passing away and the family takes her house and only having that one or two houses in the family, now she gets to watch three of her grandkids grow 20 years worth of equity if she lives to 92, and their houses grow, and then them being able to step up and move. What are some things that you do? And because I know you're big on this investment side and generating wealth, what are some of the things that you can help clients out with in this space?
It's so great that you mentioned that as far as like you say with the reverse mortgages, as far as that grandma able to help her grandchildren. And then like you said, that's a great way as well, in addition to um, the way we're looking at doing real estate as a 401k with doors, as far as help build for your retirement. And as well as, you've been here quite a bit in the news for the last few years. And I'm actually dealing with this. My daughter's actually a senior in high school, the student loan crisis. Um, that's some different ways as far as, especially with investment properties, you can have your tenants pay for your children's school so they won't have to deal with that student loan crisis, just to help
Mm,
them as far as that's concerned. Those are a couple ways you could tap into your homes as far as that's concerned, and as far as helping in an investment way. And even like you say, as far as talking about retirement, you hear about Social Security. Is it going to be here? Is it not? We have to take some ownership of what we need to do. That's a way folks can cash flow as far as that's concerned to help even pay for their help pay for their retirement, to give, save, invest in additional things as far as that's concerned. So if you want to take that, vacation, go to the Caribbean, you have some extra cash flow to deal with that. You don't have to worry about, scurrying, oh, how I'm going to be doing this. I don't have my day to day job and everything. And so those are some different ways that you could use real estate as far as even investment properties to help you with your future or your children's future, and also build generational wealth.
that's great. So somebody comes to me, or somebody comes, to you, and they say, Erica, I hear you're the best. I want to get an investment property. I love, Colorado Springs seems to be a great area in Colorado to be. We've saved up some money. Uh, what do they get when they get to meet Miss Erica and they want an investor property? Kind of walk me through what that looks like.
Yeah, first of all, you get a person who's been dealing with this close to 20 years as far as they really seen how it can affect you, as far as that's concerned. So actually, seeing some, the do's and the don'ts as far as that's concerned. So you able
Mhm.
to learn from, from my experience and my husband's experience as far as dealing with this, as far as helping dealing with that. As far as other things, as far as locations, as far as, make sure you're able to cash flow. That's one thing, when you go into the situation. I know you hear about 2008, 2009, and all those situations. People were betting on only appreciation back then, quite a few of them. So when things kind of changed, they weren't able to cash flow. And that's why a lot of people left and got foreclosed because they didn't really put too much money into it and whatever. So one thing when we look at different things as far as investments, we want to start off cash flowing. We don't want to go into a system. There's different ways to go about doing that. It's several ways, even with the current higher interest rates. So still don't go in it just assuming it's going to appreciate or whatever. That's one major factor, and it will eventually. But at least during the time, the market does have some corrections, they are able to still move forward with their properties and continue to have, cash flow to help them deal with their families or school as far as college, or even just to certain people want to just, of course, give back to others. So those are some of the things they would get from me as a person who had, close to 20 years experience dealing with this.
Oh wow, that's great. Erica, what do you think your superpower is? What is it that makes you exceptional above everybody else? What are you good at?
Um, as far as I wouldn't call it superpower, but just kind of going back with my background, I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas. I lived there the beginning of my all my years and everything there, and before going to school. I had the opportunity, like I say, I went to Houston first, my first job, went to school in Boston area, lived in New York for several years, had the opportunity to take jobs who took me internationally. I was working in the Netherlands for over a year, worked in London for a while, and um, adaptability. I've seen a lot of different things. I work very well with different types of people. That's one thing I could say is my superpower. I'm able to get into a different setting and be able to adapt for that setting. So, because I deal with different types of clients, different types of backgrounds, different types of visions, and different things, I'm able to work with them and actually, be able to adjust and help them make it meet their goals. So I think that's one of my major, I guess, if you as you call it, superpowers, as far as dealing with that.
Oh, that's so cool. I mean, I can tell there's so much experience there, and that when people get you help them either with a listing or you help them on the buyer side, that you're just able to give them a whole bunch of knowledge that maybe other folks aren't able to give. And I think that's so neat that you're able to do that and have that experience as both on the investment side and on the military side. I think that's just that's phenomenal. Um, you know, I would say what else makes you an exceptional agent? But yeah, maybe you can answer it. Is there anything additional that you do? Maybe give us an example of a client you've been able to help and how happy they were when you were done with that transaction.
I guess one of the things, as far as that's why I get quite a few referrals. I'm not a transactional broker. I'm here from the beginning. I'm here during it. I'm here after the fact. Just because we close on a deal or whatever, if you have questions or whatever or anything, I'm here to help you. I'm here to answer your questions. I'm not, like you say, one and done type of broker as far as or realtor as far as that's concerned. Um, I want you to win. That's the thing.
Okay.
With my, dealing with this, I've had people to help me and help me win and different things. I want everybody who I deal with from all walks of life to win. So that's a key thing. I would say, like I say, I'm not here to just say we did this and oh, see you later, type of
Mm.
person. I'll keep in touch. I will want to see what's going on. Here to answer whatever questions, here to work with you with what your needs are and everything. So I think that's something that kind of sets me apart. And I do, as far as my value proposition, as far as looking at what suits your needs and what's best for your goals. It's not about me, it's about you because this is your biggest purchase that you probably, one of the biggest purchases that you're going to make in your lifetime, big financial decisions. So that's the key thing. I'm here uh, throughout and everything.
Good, good, good. Um, we're kind of at our time here, but tell everybody how to get a hold of you again. How to get a hold of you, and then maybe any closing thoughts that you would have that would help somebody as they're looking for a home in the area that you're in, Colorado Springs, I guess.
Okay. I will just go. My name is Erika Zeigler-Rabet. Again, the phone number is 719-424-6224, 719-424-6224. You can check out my website, www.lovingcoloradosprings.com. One of the things, like I said, that's what got me to become a realtor is I want to help people as far as winning, as far as financially. I think in our society, if folks have are able to win financially and everything with their wealth building, it gives you options. I totally believe um, money is not evil. I don't believe in that. I think it's just for you to have more options and be able to have more choices for your kids, for your family, for yourself, to help give to your church, to give to your school, your high school, your college, whatever university. I think this is, even if someone needs help, you have options to be able to help them, as far as that's concerned, to get on their feet and everything. So one thing that's how I got into becoming a realtor. I really see that this can help folks generationally as far as wealth building. And there are different other ways that I didn't really touch upon, but I would love to talk to you and give you more details about that. But yeah, though, that's what I really truly feel. And as far as belief in real estate is one of the major factors as far as wealth building here in America at least.
No, I love it. Thank you so much, and thank you for being on today. One of the things that I tell everybody at the end of all these shows is one that um, you can do this.
Yeah.
This is something that absolutely, whether you're in the military, whether you're looking for investment property, whether you're just saying, hey, I didn't even know I could have a house, like the gentleman that I talked to, that you're sitting at your home and you're just going, I would love to own a house someday because everybody keeps telling me it's this great investment that I should get, and it is, and you should do it. The second thing is you deserve this. If you look across the country, and as I'm visiting, whether it's in Alabama or it's in Arkansas, whether it's in Colorado or whether it's in California, or anywhere in the country, we have this country that gives us the ability to be able to purchase real estate on our own, to have our own spot of land that we can call our own, and for that land to be able to appreciate to the point where it can build wealth for your kids and your kids' kids. Not every country in the world has that available to its citizens. We do, and I hope you take advantage of it. And the last thing is let us help you. You've heard an amazing young woman spend some time talking about, I know you're only 29, and I don't know how you did all that stuff as being a
Thank
29-year-old, but, it's just amazing to just hear this wealth of knowledge with somebody who knows what they're doing. She says she has 20 years of experience. 20 years of folks that she's taken from, I don't know that I can do this, to I can. Or if I can't, I'm now on this base. I don't know if it's a good location to be stuff. I'm encouraging you to please call Erika. Erika knows what she's doing. She has the ability to help you get stuff done, and we want to help you. it's amazing. I would say if you are a veteran, that you call somebody who understands that world. Because as I do VA loans and I try to make sure it happens, and I have a real estate agent who doesn't even understand that process, or what it's going to look like, it can get frustrating sometimes. And so I can promise you with Erika, she knows what's going on. She's going to be able to walk you through the process so that by the end, you're not just pulling your hair out frustrated because they asked for a different piece of paper, or something came in that you didn't know, or your DD 214 needs to be, we need that up front. The things that I asked for on the loan, the real estate agent can help prepare you for that. And then when I'm asking you for something a little bit later, it's not there. And so thank you, Erika, again for being on. Please give her a call. You have her information. And just thank you for being on another episode of the Mile High Real Estate podcast and the Black Wealth Experience podcast. And we look forward to talking to each and every single one of you soon. Have an amazing, awesome, incredible day. We will talk with you soon.
Thank you.
This is Brian Arnold, and if you are listening to this part, you've just watched one of our episodes of the Mile High Real Estate Spotlight, where we've just talked to one of the best of the best. And I want to thank whichever guest that was here. They are phenomenal. They are amazing. They are the top of the top, the best of the best that are in our industry that are here with us today. And so I encourage you to please call them, pick their brains. They work for you. They enjoy working for you. They are incredibly good at it. And so I want to make sure that you give them a call. So whoever you listen to, whichever one you saw that you were there, please do that. The other thing is everyone deserves a home. Everyone deserves a home. I say that at the end of my show. You deserve it. Let us help you do it. My goal is to make sure that we see homeownership. It just sickens me to see apartment complexes continue to go up, because I know those are people who haven't been able to make the call or figure out a plan. So let us help put that plan together for you. I have some websites that allow you to do that, and I'll put those in the bottom, but please do. I am a lender. I do work in the lending space. If you do not already have somebody who's pre-qualified you, I would love to be able to have that opportunity to earn your business and qualify you. My number is 720-682-2223. That's 720-682-2223. Give me a call anytime, and I would love to be able to help you with that. We also do living trust. And so when we think about an estate, to try to avoid probate and make sure that doesn't happen. So whether it's you, if you own a home, and you should have a living trust. And I will say that everyone not just deserves it, everyone needs a living trust if they own a home. And then finally, just wanted to thank you for watching these episodes. And so please tune into more. Would love for you to see and be able to shop around. So thank you for doing that. Again, I want to make sure that you know that you can do this. You deserve this. And let us help you make it happen. You guys have an awesome, wonderful, awestruck, incredible day today.